Well, guys, once again, good evening. Welcome to our session. Avanzamos en nuestra sesión número 6. Bueno, quiero pensar que de alguna manera, Andrés dice, ok. Thank you, Andrés. Let me write that down. Ya hemos avanzado en lo que es el aula virtual. Ya digamos que hoy oficialmente terminamos la unidad 9. Ya estamos hablando pues, de las 3 unidades que trabajamos en este A2.3. ¿Listo? Entonces, nuevamente la sugerencia, no dejemos para última hora. Recuerden que el próximo martes ya tenemos nuestro examen final. No he tomado asistencia. Entonces, la idea, como bien sabemos, es ojalá tener todo terminado, ya que en este caso vamos a tener solo 2 días de descanso. Llamémoslo descanso de alguna manera, porque en el caso de nosotros, como yo les he contado, pues tenemos que entrar en todo un proceso de varios reportes, entonces descanso casi no, pero la intención es que tengamos todo ya, ojalá para el lunes a más tardar, que sería cuando oficialmente terminamos como tal contenido, que falte muy poco del aula virtual para que solo sea eso lo que les haga falta. And well, guys, without any further ado, let's have a look at what we will be, let's say, refreshing or studying today. As I was telling you, the idea of today is to finish Unit 9. During the whole development of Unit 9, we are talking about cities. We were talking about different types of descriptions, especially yesterday. And today we're going to have a look at more to something, let's say a little more real in terms on the impact that it has in our, reality these days. And well, as usual, let me take attendance so we can officially start with the topic of today. Okay, today is the 8th. Sergio David.
Present, teacher.
Okay. André Felipe ya me contó. Jennifer Paula Martínez. Well, not here. Kiara Lizeth Martínez.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Jorge Jair Moreno.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Diego Fernando Olarte.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Dana Valentina Ortiz.
Present, Miss.
Okay. Manuela Ortiz.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Joan Sebastián Pavón. Bueno, Joan Sebastián Pavón no está todavía. Beatriz Omaira Pedraza.
Present.
Okay. Hamilton Peña. Está Hamilton todavía. Continúo acá. Xiomara Caterina, que ya me escribió en el chat. Jessica Paola.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Caterina Alexandra.
Present, Miss.
Ok. Mayra Alejandra Rosso. Todavía no, por el momento. Marlon Yesid Sánchez.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Mendy Fabián Santa.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Karen Juliet Torres.
Present.
Ok. María Alejandra Vega.
Present, teacher.
Muy bien. Vanessa Zambrano.
Present, teacher.
Ok. And Natalia Navarro.
Present.
Ok. Let me see the chat. Andrés Felipe Tisha, yo estoy aquí. Yes. And Valentina Ortiz. She said present. Yes, Valentina, I heard you. Both of you. Bueno, para confirmar, for the moment, They are not here. Jennifer Paola Martínez, Joan Sebastián Pavón, Hamilton Peña, María Alejandra Rosso. Por el momento igual todavía tienen varios minuticos, solo por confirmar que no me haya equivocado ahorita. Okay, very good. Let me adjust once again my screen, our book. There you go. Okay, guys, I was telling you a few minutes ago that the idea of today is to finish Unit 9. Once again, we were talking about different aspects related to cities, describing houses, then we moved to describing buildings. In the first part of yesterday's session, we were talking about, like, let's say, good and bad aspects of certain buildings and certain changes. And today, we are going to talk, as I was telling you, about a topic that actually has become, let's say, really important based on the situation that we live currently. And we're talking about green cities. Guys, if not, I forget that all of you already have the book. We're talking about pages 86 and 87. So let me zoom in. On the first part that says find out first, here we have a kind of mini quiz. It says work in pairs, but actually it is really short. So we're going to do the quiz, you know, like all together. Let's see how good your memory is, talking about, in this case, specifically, the Middle East. Let's have a look here at the list of participants. Beatriz, please, could you read the question that we have here in 1A?
And read number 1A. Yes, teacher.
Yes, Beatriz.
Okay, we're in Paris and discuss how much do you know about Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates? Try to answer the question below. One. What are
Wait,
the-
Beatriz,
Oh.
give me a second.
Okay.
Work in pairs. Like you said, work in Paris.
Okay.
You want to go to Paris, maybe. That's the idea. Okay.
In pairs. O sea, en pairs, en pareja?
Yes, that's the idea.
Okay, listo. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, guys. And as I was telling you, the idea in this case is we're going to do it as a group, not necessarily in pairs, because, well, first of all, the questions are, let's say, very simple, and the quiz is like really short. So just like to make sure that all of us can participate. Let's see. Let's read the first question about Abu Dhabi. Let me ask Diego Fernando. Diego Fernando Olarte.
Tell me, teacher.
Diego, could you read question number 1?
Teacher, I'm walking to my house. Give me 20 or 30 minutes, please.
Okay, that's a lot, but okay, be safe. Let me ask then Jorge.
Yes, teacher.
Could you read question number 1 and the choices, please?
Where are the United Arab Emirates? A. North America. B. Central Europe. C. Middle East Asia.
Middle East Asia. Well, Hamilton just arrived. Jorge, based on what you already know, of course, from geography, where are these Emirates located?
C. Middle East Asia.
Middle East Asia. Absolutely. Let's have a look now at question number 2. Karen Juliet, could you read it, please?
Yes. Number 2. What does Abu Dhabi's well come from? A. Banking. B. Coal. And C. Oil and gas.
What would be the idea or, yeah, the meaning of wealth, Karen, as well?
Como que has escuchado del país.
¿Qué has escuchado? Not really. This word in particular, well.
No sé, teacher.
Riqueza.
That would be the one. So, now that we clarified a little bit the meaning of wealth, making reference, let me see the chat. Don't worry, Hamilton. Well, now that we're talking about, like let's say the economic aspect that actually, let's say, is the most relevant from this place, Karen, what would your answer be?
Sí, oil and gas.
Very good. That's the one in that case. Probably a little more common these days, but that would be the one. Thank you. Catherine Alexandra, could you read question number 3, please?
Yes, Miss. What is Abu Dhabi surrounded by? A, desert, B, lakes, C, mountains.
What do you think the answer is? Catherine?
A.
The desert. Very good, but nothing actually to expand on that part. And Kiara, please, could you read question number 4?
For what is the climate in Abu Dhabi?
The climate.
Very cool, very hot and dry, very hot and wet.
Okay, so what do you think, Kiara?
I think very hot and wet.
Very hot and wet. Well, actually, it's very hot and
I know,
dry.
dry.
Yeah, remember that like using the information from question number 3, the fact that it's surrounded by desert makes it actually dry instead of wet. Very good. Well, guys, we're going to watch a video, about Masdar City. Before we watch the video, here we have some words of vocabulary. Well, sorry, because of the noise. And the intention is that when we hear these words, on the video, well, they now make sense because now we know the meaning. We have from scratch, narrow, on the outskirts, and wide. When we say from scratch, we're talking about from the beginning, like from moment 0 on. Narrow, not far from one side to the other. On the outskirts, not in the center of a city. And wide, we're talking about far from one side to the other. In this case, we can say that it is the opposite word of narrow, okay? So these words will be found in the video that we are going to watch. In this case, the idea is to pay attention, as usual, of course, and based on the information that is being shared, we have to decide if the statements are true or false, or maybe don't know. In the case of don't know, is because the information is not present on the video, okay? If the information is opposite of what is being presented on the video, then we say that it is false. But if the information is not even there, then we would decide that it is don't know. Of course, first, we're going to read the statements to make sure that we know the information that we are going to find. Let me ask now, Maria Vega, please read the statements 1 and 2.
When the presenter believes that Masdar City is a true city of the future. And to the building of Masdar City will cost 18 millions.
Billion, that's it. Let's continue with 3 and 4. Manuela, please.
Okay, number 40,000 people live there at the moment. Number 4, after you park your car on the outskirts of the city, someone drives you To the center?
Mhm.
To the center, okay.
That would be Manuela. Thank you very much. Marlon, please, could you read 5 and 6?
5 and 6, teacher.
Yes.
The car travels under the city of the master city. Since master city has a lot of tall buildings.
All buildings. That's it. And Mandy, could you read, please, statements 7 and 8?
Me, teacher.
Yes.
It is cooler in Masdar than in Abu Dhabi.
And 7 as well. 7 and 8.
Okay, teacher. The streets of Masdar city are similar to the streets of Abu Dhabi. It is
Very good.
cooler. Okay.
Okay, sorry, Mandy. I interrupted you. Let me adjust the attendance. Give me a second. Okay. Yes. Yeah, because then I forget and it can get a little bit problematic. Okay. Remember, guys, the idea, we're going to watch the video. The intention is to answer the question based on what it is being presented. Remember that we have, let's say, 3 possibilities. We have true, false, and if the information is not present, then we consider that it would be don't know, similar to like it doesn't say. Remember, guys, that you have the statements here on page 86. So I will be presenting the video and then we will watch it twice. Different from the other times, I'm not gonna send you like the link so you watch the video, let's say on your own. Tonight, I'm going to share the video so we can, let's say, go on the same path. Guys, did you have any question?
No, miss.
Thank you very much. Remember, guys, we're gonna watch the video twice.
This is Abu Dhabi, one of the fastest growing cities on the planet. For some people, Abu Dhabi is their idea of a city of the future. For me, it's not. I believe the real cities of the future need to use technology in a radically different way. Just outside Abu Dhabi, they're starting to do just that. With so much wealth and available space, Abu Dhabi has begun an amazing new experiment to build a new green city from scratch. Its name is Masdar. Currently under construction on the outskirts of Abu Dhabi, it will cost about $18 billion and eventually be home to 40,000 people. When you get to Masdar, the first thing you do is park your car here on the outskirts of the city. Then you get into one of these, a driverless electric car.
Your vehicle is now ready to leave. Please be seated so that you may depart.
The cars are amongst the most advanced electric vehicles in the world. They're guided by GPS with route and speed predetermined. These driverless cars operate in a specially built basement underneath the city of Masdar. The advantage of that is that it leaves the ground level free for pedestrians to enjoy with no traffic. It's the kind of thing you can only do when you're building a city from scratch, right from the ground level up.
The doors are opening. Please mind the doors.
Now it's time to head up to street level, where the city really unfolds. The architects have turned away from the Abu Dhabi model of ever taller towers and ever wider highways, and have reverted to the low-rise buildings of traditional Arab architecture. Although it's the middle of the day and we're in the desert, it's surprisingly comfortable in here. The streets are narrow and shady and has a nice breeze. It's an altogether nicer place to be than in the streets of Abu Dhabi.
Well, guys, remember that we're going to watch the video a second time. Don't forget the 3 possibilities that we have: true, false, or don't know.
This is Abu Dhabi, one of the fastest growing cities on the planet. For some people, Abu Dhabi is their idea of a city of the future. For me, it's not. I believe the real cities of the future need to use technology in a radically different way. Just outside Abu Dhabi, they're starting to do just that. With so much wealth and available space, Abu Dhabi has begun an amazing new experiment to build a new green city from scratch. Its name is Masdar. Currently under construction on the outskirts of Abu Dhabi, it will cost about $18 billion and eventually be home to 40,000 people. When you get to Masdar, the first thing you do is park your car here on the outskirts of the city. Then you get into one of these, a driverless electric car.
Your vehicle is now ready to leave. Please be seated so that you may depart.
The cars are amongst the most advanced electric vehicles in the world. They're guided by GPS with route and speed predetermined. These driverless cars operate in a specially built basement underneath the city of Masdar. The advantage of that is that it leaves the ground level free for pedestrians to enjoy with no traffic. It's the kind of thing you can only do when you're building a city from scratch, right from the ground level up.
The doors are opening. Please mind the doors.
Now it's time to head up to street level, where the city really unfolds. The architects have turned away from the Abu Dhabi model of ever taller towers and ever wider highways, and have reverted to the low-rise buildings of traditional Arab architecture. Although it's the middle of the day and we're in the desert, it's surprisingly comfortable in here. The streets are narrow and shady and has a nice breeze. It's an altogether nicer place to be than in the streets of Abu Dhabi.
Okay, guys, let's go back to the book. I'm sure that you were already doing the exercise. Remember the idea. We had to decide if the statements were true or false. Or, well, do you consider, guys, that you need to watch the video one final time? Or it's just okay? You let me know.
It's just okay.
Yes, teacher, one more time, please.
Okay. There it goes.
This is Abu Dhabi, one of the fastest growing cities on the planet. For some people, Abu Dhabi is their idea of a city of the future. For me, it's not. I believe the real cities of the future need to use technology in a radically different way. Just outside Abu Dhabi, they're starting to do just that. With so much wealth and available space, Abu Dhabi has begun an amazing new experiment to build a new green city from scratch. Its name is Masdar. Currently under construction on the outskirts of Abu Dhabi, it will cost about $18 billion and eventually be home to 40,000 people. When you get to Masdar, the first thing you do is park your car here on the outskirts of the city. Then you get into one of these, a driverless electric car.
Your vehicle is now ready to leave. Please be seated so that you may depart.
The cars are amongst the most advanced electric vehicles in the world. They're guided by GPS with route and speed predetermined. These driverless cars operate in a specially built basement underneath the city of Masdar. The advantage of that is that it leaves the ground level free for pedestrians to enjoy with no traffic. It's the kind of thing you can only do when you're building a city from scratch, right from the ground level up.
The doors are opening. Please mind the doors.
Now it's time to head up to street level, where the city really unfolds. The architects have turned away from the Abu Dhabi model of ever taller towers and ever wider highways, and have reverted to the low-rise buildings of traditional Arab architecture. Although it's the middle of the day and we're in the desert, it's surprisingly comfortable in here. The streets are narrow and shady and there's a nice breeze. It's an altogether nicer place to be than in the streets of Abu Dhabi.
Okay, guys, let's start with this part. Remember, true, false, basically, those were like the real choices to be found in here. Let's start. Well, I'm trying to follow like the same order of the list that I've been asking you tonight. Natalia, what about the statement number 1?
The statement number 1, the presenter believes that Masdar city is a true city of the future. Don't know, because say that she thinks that modern city of the future have to have a technology advance, but don't say that is Masdar city.
Do you agree, Sebastian? Sebastian?
No, teacher. The presenter believes that Abu Dhabi is the city of the future.
Abu Dhabi?
No.
Manuela says no. What do you think, Manuela?
She said that Abu Dhabi isn't a city of the future, and she don't say nothing about Masdar city.
She doesn't say anything. I'm correcting. Mandy, in the chat, you said that no as well. Could you expand?
Teacher, Masdar is a true city of the future.
Absolutely, Mandy. It is. Actually, number 1 is true.
The presenter talk about the Abu Dhabi, but he says The Mazda city is a true city of the future. He explained about it.
Yes, Mandy, that's what happens. She starts presenting, you know, Abu Dhabi and talking about like the general characteristics that Abu Dhabi already has at this point. And she says that for her, that is not a city of the future. And precisely that's the idea of presenting Masdar, you know, from her perspective. And also, well, I don't want to go like beyond with the other statements. But that is like the first, let's say, statement. That's her key point, that for her, Masdar actually it's the true city of the future compared to, let's say, what we would believe about Abu Dhabi. So conclusion number 1 is true. Let me ask for statement number 2, Valentina Ortiz.
The building of Master City will cost 18 billion. It's fail, it's true.
It is. Very good. Let me make sure one thing. Okay. It is true. That's the price that she gives. That's the number actually that she shares. So actually there is nothing else to expand. Let's have a look at the statement number 3, Vanessa.
Teacher is what?
Sorry, Vanessa.
Is false. Is false. False.
It is. Well, I didn't tell you the also to correct them, but do you remember the reason why number 3 is false?
In
If you don't remember,
the
it's
home
okay.
people.
Sorry, Vanessa, interrupted you. Could you repeat?
The three is 40,000 people. The home people es lo que mencionan.
I don't get your idea, Vanessa.
Teacher, the 4,100 don't lead at the moment. Don't lead
The
at the moment.
40,000.
The 40,000 don't lead at the moment.
Very good.
The video it says be people home, be people home, más o menos.
Like eventually people, well, this amount of people will be living in Masdar, but currently no. Well, in the moment of the video, you said, Beatrice, right? Very good. So yes, in conclusion, number 4, sorry, number 3 was false. Jessica, what about number 5? No, number 4, sorry, my eyes. Oy. Is it true or false?
It's true.
Number 4, after you park your car on this, number 4, yes. Yeah, because I got confused. Do you remember why it is false, Jessica?
Yes, it's false.
And do you remember why it is false?
Number 4 is false.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see the chat. Okay, someone erased the idea.
Teacher,
Why is it
maybe
yes,
number
Beatriz.
4 is false because you I don't drive. But the cars is not out. The car only drive on their Mazda. Maybe.
Okay, like yes.
Teacher, but the car don't have doesn't have a driver, no?
The car doesn't have a driver. So it is false. Yeah, because notice what the statement says, that someone drives you. But as we saw in the video, actually, you just put the information inside the car and the car takes you. So
Miss,
it is not like a person driving it, that someone is like absent, yes?
es
Catherine?
que the car is going to your script or describe your directions. No only center.
Okay. But it is like by itself. That is not a person driving the car, right?
Yes.
Okay. In conclusion, to clarify it, like to wrap it up, in the case of number 4, it is false. Let's have a look at number 5. Beatriz?
The car travels under the city of Masdar City is true for the reason I say at the moment.
Okay, yeah, you already gave your reason, actually. That's true,
Okay.
Beatriz. Let me ask, well, I don't know if Diego already arrived. But just to make sure, I'm going to ask Hamilton. Okay, number 6.
Teacher, the Mazda City has a lot of tall buildings. I think that is true.
Is it true? Thank you, Hamilton. Jorge, do you agree with Hamilton?
Teacher, I can't hear because of the rain.
Yeah, you already said. What is raining, Jorge? Where are you?
In Málaga.
Okay. Well, hopefully it rains tonight around here because it is way too hot in Bucaramanga, Florida, Blanca, Pieco, Girón. Okay, Jorge, don't worry. Let me ask Karen Juliet. Do you agree with Hamilton? He says that actually number 6 is true.
No, because the buildings are tall, but not much.
They're not as tall as the ones that were presented in Abu Dhabi. Just like, let's put them like medium size. So yes, definitely very good. Actually, it is false. Kiara, what about, no, me salté a Catherine Alexandra. What about number 7?
The streets of Masdar City are similar to the street or of Abu Dhabi. Is true?
Is it? Catherine, is it? Let's ask Kiara. Do you agree with Catherine?
Teacher, I think it's false
Why? Do you remember?
because the streets are most narrow
Exactly.
in Abu Dhabi.
Very good. Yeah, this was one of the, let's say, concepts that appeared on that part, precisely comparing how the streets are. They were explaining that the ones in Abu Dhabi were wide and, well, in contrast, actually, to make it more precise, the ones in Masdar were narrow. And we finished with number 8, Manuela.
Is false.
It is cooler in Masdar than in Abu Dhabi. Is false. Why?
Because they have better conditions for the climate.
Who
Maybe
has
for
better
the
conditions, Manuela? Abu Dhabi or Masdar? Based on what you're saying.
Masdar.
So it is true.
Okay, it's cooler. It's true. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, don't worry. That is why I was asking you like to expand, like, but your explanation actually is right. So again, it is true. Very good. Well, it was a little bit tricky, you know, with this type of information. Actually, here there are 6 statements just to wrap up the information about the video. Remember, guys, that we are talking about green cities tonight. In a moment, we will have a kind of mini discussion. Of course, you first working in groups and then socializing your point of view. Let's read the 6 phrases and based on the information and what we watched from the video, and also let's say the detailed analysis that we provided for the 8 statements, you have to decide if these 6 statements are about Abu Dhabi or are about Masdar. Maria Vega, could you for the moment only read without the answer, just reading statements 1, 2, and 3, please?
One of the fastest growing cities on the planet. 2, a new green city. 3, free for pedestrians to enjoy with no traffic.
That would be it for the moment. And Marlon, please, could you read 4, 5, and 6?
Three, four, five, and 6.
4, 5, and 6.
Okay. Taller towers and wider highways, surprisingly comfortable, and the streets are narrow and shady.
Shady. That's it. And as you saw, here we have some of those adjectives that we were using yesterday to describe places. Just to refresh our memory, guys, do you remember the meaning of shady?
Sombra.
But that would be shade. That would be como sombreado, más por ese lado también. Very good. So guys, I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes, as I was telling you, just to wrap up this information that we share about the video. You have to decide which statements are about Abu Dhabi and which statements are about Masdar. I'm sure that for you, the information is like more specific and easier to identify, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to analyze them, starting now. Well, guys, thumbs up. Remember, the idea was to classify these statements, which were about Abu Dhabi and which were about Masdar. Actually, only two of them were about Abu Dhabi, and then the other 4 were about Masdar. Let's see if Mandy has the answer. So Mandy, which 2 statements were about Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi, the four.
Okay, taller towers and wider highways. And there is one more.
One.
And number 1. That would be it. Very good. The other 4 statements were about Masdar. As you noted, well, first of all, probably talking about, let's say, the new characteristic of the night, let's put it like that it is a green city, that actually people can walk, there is no traffic. We already saw how the cars, let's say, arrive to the city, and it is surprisingly comfortable, especially, remember the presenter was talking about how the weather was. She was walking around Masdar at noon, and she said that it was actually cool compared to what the situation would be in another city in that moment. And well, thanks to the situation that they are narrow and shady, probably they were also a little bit cooler. Very good, guys. Okay, let's move to the next part. As I was telling you, now we're going to talk about, let me move to the presentation, your point of view. Okay, of course, we're going to take as a point of reference some of the, let's say, ideas presented on the video. And this is what you will be doing. You will be sent to breakout rooms. Of course, first, we're going to read our statements. The statements are also on the book on page 87, okay? On each group, guys, what you're going to do is to choose 2 statements. First of all, one statement that you consider that you agree with, and one statement that you actually disagree with. The idea that you support each idea, the one you agree and the one you disagree with a statement. Like not only we disagree just because, what's the reason why you disagree and what's the reason why you agree with them? Guys, the idea is that you are going to write your reasons, you know, as a group, and then you are going to share the screen. The idea, as usual, is that on each group, you are going to choose that person that is going to be in charge of presenting the ideas. But of course, first of all, before we go to our groups, let's read the 6 statements. Remember the ideas taken from the video. Sebastian, please, could you read the statements 1 and 2?
We need to build more cities like Masdar. Cities without cars are the future. In a city, people like using their cars, and we don't need air conditioning in the streets. So why change?
That would be it for 1 and number 2. Valentina Ortiz, could you read 3 and 4, please?
Masdar is an interest experiment, but I don't think it will ever happen anywhere else. It's important to make our cities greener and more carbon neutral, not spoil new ones.
Thank you very much. And we finished this set of ideas with number 5 and number 6. Vanessa, could you read them, please?
I think I would be better to spend 18 billion on other world problems like poverty. 6, I'd love to live in Masdar City because it looks like a very good place to live.
That would be it. Very good. Thank you, Vanessa. Guys, from the 6, let's say ideas that we have, you know, like after, let's say that after watching the video, those ideas were gotten from there. Do you have any question? Are all clear?
No, miss.
That's it. Very good. So guys, remember the instructions. Let me, okay. This black bar thing that some has. One that you agree with and one that you disagree with and support your ideas. Of course, the intention is that as a group, well, you have to make sure that, well, not like to convince everybody, but the intention is that you come up with a general conclusion. Let's say, well, it sounds weird, but I don't want to hear groups like, okay, all of us have a different opinion, so I'm going to say my opinion, and then person B his opinion, and person C her opinion. No, guys, actually, the idea is that you come on an agreement. That's the purpose of this exercise. Otherwise, I would just ask like every single one of you, the one that you agree and the one that you disagree. That's the intention. You will be working in groups of 3 participants. I know that some of you are having problems with the connection. Probably the microphone is not working, but anyway, you can help your classmates through the chat. I'm sure that that is not a problem for you. I think that we don't have questions. I already adjusted so you can actually share your screen. Guys, in total, you are going to have 15 minutes to come to the agreement. Well, choose the statements, come to the agreement, and then to create the statements or the ideas that actually support the 2 statements that you chose from this part. Okay? Well, guys, let's start. I'm going to open the rooms. There you go. Hello, guys. Hello.
Teacher, we have a question.
Sure, tell me.
We would like to know if we have to confirmar, if we have to make two
confirm.
sentences to confirm, if we have to make two sentences with agree and one disagree, or
One agree and one disagree.
okay. Okay,
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. See you in a moment. Well, guys, officially welcome back. This is the moment where you are going to share your ideas, also share your screen. I'm going to stop sharing mine. And remember that the idea was for you like to choose one person on each group to see how similar or different your ideas are. So let's begin with group number 1. We have Andres Felipe, Catarina Alexandra, and Marlon Sanchez.
So, teacher, the first statement in disagree is we need to build more cities like Mazda.
But sorry, don't you have like something that we can all see? Do you didn't like wrote something down?
Excuse me, so teacher.
Yeah, because like the idea was for you like to write down and share the screen. Did you write down something? So like all of us can see?
Que no, los tres estamos desde el celular. No,
Okay.
me,
Sorry.
sorry.
No,
Sorry
don't
for
worry,
that.
don't worry. No. Well, I didn't know that you were working from your cell phone. So of course, I mean, that would be like almost impossible. I see your point. Okay, now I don't interrupt you anymore. So continue. So let me share mine again so we can have a look at, sorry, statements.
Okay.
There it is.
Thank you. So in the first statement, we be and disagree.
We disagree.
We disagree. So we think it's not necessary build more cities like Mazda.
Okay.
Because it's better built in the cities that have how do you say poblados? Que ya están pobladas.
Populated.
So in the first statement say cities with hot cars are the future. We disagree in this statement because in the short future is not true.
Okay.
And the statement we agree is poor. It's important to make our cities greener and more carbon neutral. This is according to statement 1. We think that is better build our cities greener, and this form can un segundo que estoy rebobinando. Como puede can be more carbon neutral.
Okay, neutral.
Because do you don't need more materials and more contamination about new building.
Okay. That would be it from group number 1. Thank you very much. Let's continue with group number 2. Let's see, we have different statements. Jorge, Vanessa, and Jessica. Who's in charge?
Ya compartimos.
Let me stop sharing.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. It's what
we agree with the first sentence.
Okay.
Countries and their governments need to improve the transportation systems with electric vehicles without traditional vehicles. avoid traffic jams, reduce accidents, and improve the experience of the people that live in the city.
Okay, transportation. You said transportation.
We disagree.
Again, Jorge?
We are disagree.
We disagree.
We disagree with the second.
Okay.
Because in our cities, the people needs their car for transportation.
¿Cómo le dije ahorita, Jorge? ¿Cómo le?
Transportation.
Yes, that's the one. Very good.
But changes are necessary to improve mobility and reduce pollution of the traditional cars with new types of electric transportation.
Good points.
That's all, teacher.
Jorge, and of course, group number 2, thank you very much. Interesting perspective as well. Nice. Let's continue with group number 3. In case of group number 3, the participants are Karen Juliet, Manuela Ortiz, and Valentina Ortiz. Who's in charge?
Teacher,
Yes, Manuela.
we have screens.
You have a screen?
A screenshot?
Are you asking me, Manuela?
We have a screenshot, but I don't know. Karen, maybe? Or Valentina? I don't remember.
Where are Karen and Valentina?
Yes, we have screenshots because we are working on our cell phones.
Okay, well, don't worry, lady. So, based on that situation that I'm sure like made it a little bit more complicated, tell me if you want to share, or maybe you just want to share the ideas without the screenshot. That's up to you, because I know that from the cell phones, of course, it gets complicated. But if you prefer just to share the ideas, let's say, and I share once again the presentation, it's up to you.
We are, well, I am going to talk, but we am not share my screen.
Okay, perfect. Don't worry. So here we have the ideas, so we can look at them once again.
Okay, we agree with number 1 because the sentence talk about cars and we think that the normal cars that we use are big and environmental problem because they produce a lot of pollution and noise. So we need change it and replace it by new ecology cars. And we disagree with the number 4. And we believe that the normal cars that we use, they are like the same, like are big environmental problem because they produce a lot of pollution and noise. So we need to replace it with friendly cars.
With environment-friendly cars.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know, actually number 4 is not talking about the cars. It's talking about like the cities in particular.
Yeah, but we focus on the sentence says carbon neutral.
Okay. I'm talking about like the impact that cars have on that aspect in particular. Okay. I see
Yes.
your point. Yeah, of course, we're talking about cities in general, could be any aspect, including cars. Yeah, you're right. Yes, that's it. Group number 3, thank you very much. We have now group number 4, Hamilton, Maria Vega, and Natalia Navarro. Who's in charge? Are you going to share your screen?
No, teacher, we are not going to share the screen, but we have the ideas. We agree with the board
You agree with
because
4. Nice.
I agree with four because it's important take care about the environment and the carbon neutral space are good for people health, and also we must to protect the planet from global warming.
Okay.
And we disagree with the third because for us it's important to replicate those types of experiments, and they help to improve the quality of life of people in the cities.
Okay, that is interesting. Just one mini correction. In a moment you say must to protect, must protect. To is not necessary.
Okay.
Okay, group number 4, thank you very much. Let's listen now to group number 5. We have Beatriz, Diego, and Kiara. What about you guys? Who's in charge? Are you going to share your screen?
Can you see it?
Well, I have to stop sharing, so I can actually see yours. Yes, it is.
Then we agree with the statement 4 because we can help environment prolong the life on the earth.
The earth, okay.
And we disagree for the statement 5 because we can spend money, the people and the government spend money in different problems, not only poverty. And it is an important problem to invest at technology. And the environmental problem is as serious as poverty.
Okay, let me see the statement because what could you zoom in a little bit? I'm suffering. Who's sharing the screen? Kiara? Yes. Kiara, could you zoom in? Or Beatriz? I don't know who's sharing the screen. Could you
Kiara,
zoom
please.
in? And Kiara, okay, Kiara, could you zoom in, please?
Oh, I can print screen, Kiara? I can.
No, I need to see the information bigger because eso, thank you.
Okay.
Because we can spend money on different problems and it is important to invest at technology. It is important to invest in technology.
Okay.
And the environmental problem is as serious as poverty. Absolutely. Perfect, ladies. Thank you very much. That is what I wanted just to see. And let's have a look now to our final group. In this case, we have Mendy, Sebastián, and Xiomara Caterina.
Okay, teacher.
Yes.
I'm going to share this screen.
Perfect.
Okay, teacher. Teacher, our group was agreed about the fourth statement.
Agreed.
Agreed.
In past, agreed.
Agreed. Xiomara says she agreed because it improves people's health. It also contributes to the global climate crisis.
Climate crisis.
Sebastian says he agreed because making our cities greener and more carbon neutral is an important step in ensuring a more sustainable and healthy future for all. And I agree because the world has a huge pollution problem that has affected the ozone layer.
Okay.
And disagree.
Okay.
Xiomara says he disagreed the first statement because there are other alternatives such as renewable. How do you pronounce it?
Renewable.
Renewable energy to solve the pollution problem, and it is important to move to places far from the city. Sebastian says he disagrees because if it is possible to have a city like that, and me because I don't like the C's statement because I don't like a city as a Mazda. It is so quiet to me. I really like a vivid and moved city with many people there.
Okay, don't stop sharing the screen yet, Wendy. Could you scroll up actually to the disagreement of Sebastian. And it says, I disagree because if it is possible to have a city like that, what do you mean? Remember, guys, that if is when we're talking about like a condition. For example, if I have more time, I will make, I don't know, more cookies. Just a crazy thought, you know. That is the idea of if. I don't know what you mean in this case with that if. I disagree because if it is possible to have a city like that, it's a corta. What do you mean by if? Do you remember? Mandy, or maybe Sebastian wants to.
Oh, Sebastian.
You mean, or what you mean? I'm trying to guess. I disagree because, okay, sí es posible, es como lo que se quiere decir, me imagino.
Sí, lo que se
Like,
quería decir es si es
como que sí
posible
es
tener una
posible.
ciudad como esa.
You know, in English, the thing is that we don't have that version of that C to emphasize, you know. In those cases, what we do is to emphasize, but only with putting extra accent, in this case, on is. We would say, because it is possible to have a city like that. And then emphasizing on is, when we like make the translation, is going to say, porque sí es posible. That is the only way to do it. But the point is, we have to erase if.
Okay, teacher.
So it doesn't look like a conditional. Yeah. Yeah, we don't really have, let's say, that version in English. And let me have a look at your disagreement statement, maybe the last one. I don't like a city as a Masdar. Okay. Because it's already, let's say, a noun place. We can't use a. A is when it is something indefinite, like a book. Which book? We don't know the book. But in this case, we already know what Masdar is. But just like those couple of things to analyze in terms of grammar, but in general, pretty good. Group number 6, thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, guys, let's talk about some general aspects of our group. Let me share the screen again. Okay, guys. Su pantalla. Ay, ¿por qué no carga? Listo. Okay, actually it was getting slower. Well, guys, remember that on Friday, we will have our session number 8. That means that the first part of the session, we will continue working on the different topics that we will have to cover. Let's put it like that. And then on the second part, you will be working on what let's say, final part of the development of the project is. Well, I know that you already know, but the regulation says that we have to refresh our memory and see what the information is about. Remember that you have the information of the project in the link of materials. What we will be doing on Friday is this. Sorry. The third project advance, students have to turn in the final slideshow where they add the remaining aspects. Remember that in 8.2, we were talking about all the aspects that you included in your presentation were name of the sports or game, history behind it, and rules, and that was it. The good thing, let's put it like that, is that in 8.2.1, you had already collected all the information that you needed. In this part, we share the aspects that you're going to include. The information about special equipment, special and or important tournaments, important people or teams, well, that excel in this sport or game. Well, actually, you also, some of you also included, let's say, extra information. That was part of the instruction, you know, like to include a little bit of extra information. Remember that in this case, you are going to upload just like we did on our previous cycle. Please do not send it to my email. Upload it once again to a folder that it is already located on this part. I know that probably because you are really busy and you want to, let's say, advance as much as possible, you have already worked on those aspects. But my humble piece of advice is, let's wait until Friday. Remember that when you go to your groups, then I go like to visit all of you, like only 2 minutes. Actually, don't spend that huge amount of time, but just to make sure that actually what you are, let's say, collecting and organizing is actually following the rules. Remember, guys, that at this point, we are still working, let's say, air quotations, only on that visual support that you will be using on A2.4, that is next cycle, which is actually the moment where we make the presentation. I'm not going to tell you yet if it is a presentation, if it is a video. That's not the information to share so far. Why am I telling you this? Because in the previous cycle, when you were doing this part, some of you had actually really good ideas. The ideas were excellent, but actually required a lot of effort that it is not necessary for the moment. You wanted to make videos, you wanted to record yourselves, and in terms of, you know, creativity, that looks amazing. But I was telling you, okay, you are really busy. Let's not spend our time doing that activity yet. The moment of the final presentation would be in A2.4. Guys, I would like to know if you have questions from this part. I know that for some of you, it may seem like always the same thing, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Questions?
No, miss.
Okay. Guys, up to this point, have all of you checked this folder, the one of materials? In case that you don't, so we don't have like the confusion. Well, but I'm sure that it won't be a problem in this part. The folder's name is Project Advanced 3. I mean, there is no, let's say, way to confuse yourselves. Now, guys, the second part of the information. Unfortunately, one of your classmates has already failed because of absences. That means that once again, we have 2 people who are working individually. From the previous cycle, Xiomara was working individually, and now Vanessa, you are going to work individually as well. Just like to give you the choice, because I'm not telling you that it is an obligation, of course. I'm gonna give you like the 2, let's say, possibilities. One possibility is that you continue working alone, you know, like you say, I don't care. Actually, I like it. It's okay. It's fine by me. I'll continue working. But keep in mind also that then in A2.4, you will have to make the presentation individually. Or maybe just to give you another idea, Xiomara and Vanessa, maybe you like talk to each other and then you decide which sport like you continue working with. I'm just saying something crazy. Maybe you say, okay, the information about kickball is nice. So Xiomara continues working with kickball. But I'm not telling you that it is an obligation. My idea, my intention is just in case, you know, you want to make your life easier in terms of all the work that you have to do to finish the third part and then to eventually make the presentation. So you don't have to tell me now, okay? Don't worry. It's just like I wanted to tell you, like, this is the situation right now. Unfortunately, Vanessa's classmate, as I was telling you guys, already failed because of absences. But if you want to work individually, it's fine by me. I just wanted to give you like, let's say the choices for you to decide. So you don't say maybe like, okay, but I had to do it all by myself and blah, 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 which is valid, but not in this case. I don't want you to suffer that much. Okay, Xiomara and Vanessa?
Teacher,
Yes.
sorry, the new student, he left?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Okay.
he left. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, this schedule is really demanding. Actually, guys, you are really brave because it is not easy to like hold up for 4 hours. So I know that probably that was the reason. Well, I don't know actually the reason why he already decided to not to continue, but I think that could be one possibility. But yeah, unfortunately, he's not with us anymore.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Beatriz. Yeah, because probably you were already thinking how we were going to organize him. No, it is not necessary. So, well, Xiomara and Vanessa, you decide. I don't know, guys, if you have any other question? Okay. Well, actually, this part took me more time than I was expecting. Well, I'm gonna just wrap it up. So, guys, don't forget to work on the virtual campus. I'm going to ask it in Spanish. ¿Quiénes ya iniciaron trabajo en el aula virtual?
Me.
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 Me. Okay.
Yo no.
Entonces, me, rápidamente.
Yo no.
Okay. Okay, some honest people said no as well. Very good. Guys, remember, you have until Monday until Tuesday to do that part, but the fast, the better. Well, guys, I'm not going to keep you just for 2 minutes. So today, actually, respect the minutes that I took from you. I guess it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. And that would be it for tonight. As usual, guys, thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
teacher. Goodbye.